everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new reading vlog. I just wanted to pop in and film the intro for this vlog because I am in the middle of a book that I will likely finish by the time I film another update. So the book that I am currently reading is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. And I am like halfway through this already. I'm on page 154 and I am absolutely loving this. I feel like I am just like, I've struck gold this year. I've found so many amazing books and I've read so many like 5-star reads so far this year. I'm just like on cloud 9. This is giving me 5-star feels. I am halfway through and I was like, you know what? I really want to annotate in this. So I haven't annotated yet. I've just like tabbed it. So I have to go through today and like annotate in it. These aren't even like the tabs I'm going to use. These are cut up pieces of Post-it note because I didn't have any tabs with me. So I'm going to have to, go through and like annotate the bits that I've already read. So I'm probably gonna do that later tonight, but I'm absolutely loving this. So basically this is about a professor who is studying fairies and like fair folk, and her name is Emily Wilde, if you couldn't figure that out already. And she goes on this journey to a like small town in the far north, like it's not Norway, but it's like a land north of Norway. I can't remember the name of it, but she goes there and she's studying the fair folk and she's coming up with this encyclopedia all about the fair folk. So she's like very knowledgeable about fairies. And then her somewhat rival also, like he's like her friend, but like almost like a frenemy. Like she is like very easily annoyed by him and he's just like very charming, and she just like is very annoyed with him and she's very blunt and stuff, and he comes to kind of like help her with this. They're gonna do like a little bit of a collab, and so it's a bit of like a hate to love. It's not like quite hate, it's more like an annoyance to love kind of thing, which I just like eat that up. But also all of the like fairy lore and like the folklore in this is really fascinating, and I'm just like really loving it. I'm having the best time reading this, and I'm like also very sad that the sequel is going to be so far away. This came out in January, I think, and the next book, there is going to be a second book, comes out January of next year, and that just, what am I going to do when I finish this? But yeah, I'm absolutely loving this. It's giving me like these vibes of like Veronica Speedwell if she studied fairies instead of butterflies. It's also set in 1909, so it is like a historical fiction a bit, so that like gives me Veronica Speedwell as well, but also mixed with like The Bear and the Nightingale, with all of like the folklore and like the little folk and the little fairies and stuff, like all of that. It's kind of like a mix between those, which those two are so very different books, so it's like odd, but that like that's what it's reminding me of. But yeah, I love Emily and I love Bamblebee, who is her like a little bit of a rival. I am getting major 5-star vibes from this, and I'm so excited to keep reading it. But yeah, I need to go through and annotate and like make my little key and change out the tabs for real tabs and not just like cut up pieces of Post-it note. So that is what I will be reading. I figured I would just start the vlog so I could talk about it and gush a little bit before I give like my final thoughts on it, because I am going to be finishing this as soon as possible. But yeah, that is going to be it for this little intro. So I will check back in once I have something else to update. again with another reading update and several different unboxings. I feel like I always film my updates in the exact same place, but like there's only so many different places that are interesting in my house. So, but I have some updates. Okay. So, first reading update. I finished Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. I really enjoyed this one. I annotated in it, like I said I was going to. I really like this book. I am going to give it 4 stars though. I was thinking for a while there that it might be a 5-star read, but it just didn't quite hit that 5-star feeling. But I still really enjoyed this, and I'm definitely highly anticipating the sequel when it comes out next year. I really enjoyed all of the different like fairy lore that was in this. I thought that was really interesting, and I really liked the like setting of this. It reminded me a lot of The Bear and the Nightingale, just like in the setting specifically, but also like in the way that she talked about like different types of fairies and like the way that she knew about these different types of fairies. It just reminded me a lot of The Bear and the Nightingale. And then another thing that I really liked was that obviously Emily is like a very knowledgeable professor on fairies. Like that's her specific chosen area of study. And I found that I really enjoy when a main character like studies something specific. Like Veronica Speedwell studies butterflies, and like that is just really interesting to me. It makes me interested in that thing. And I of course love fairies. So I really like all of like the fairy lore and stuff, so it was really interesting to hear about different types of fairies and like the lore behind that. And then of course the romance, the rivals to lovers romance, I really enjoyed. I really liked Bumblebee's character. I do wish, however, that romance was a little bit more like drawn out. I wish there was a bit more tension with it, because I know that there's going to be a sequel, so like I would have been okay with it being like dragged out a little bit. But I loved Wendell. I loved his character. So he was a great addition to the book. Like he added so much more humor to it, and I really liked his character. He might be my favorite character in the book. So yeah, 4 stars for this. Really liked it. And then today I decided to pick up The Dead Travel Fast by Deanna Raybourn. I did not know. I mean, that is like a line from Dracula. I have never read Dracula, but I didn't know that until like it's not like a prologue, but it's like where they quote a different thing, and it literally is a quote from Dracula. And then when I was like, okay, is this like a Dracula retelling? It kind of is. There's definitely some vampires involved and like a spooky gothic castle and stuff. The main character goes to visit her cousin, and she's like at this castle, and then things start happening. That's basically what the book is about. I got to page 130 in this, and I think I'm just gonna DNF it. I just don't care. I'm not interested. I don't really care about the main character, Theodora. I feel nothing for her. And it was definitely a bit of a slow start. I know I'm like just over 100 pages in, but like, I don't know. I'm not interested right now. I might pick this up at another time, like when I am feeling more interested in it. But as of right now, I'm gonna DNF it. I just, at the moment, I'm not connecting to the story. So DNFing this one, which is a bit unfortunate because it's a standalone from Deanna Raybourn. So I thought that would be fun, but I don't know. I'm just not vibing. Apart from that, I'm not really sure what I want to read next, but I do have a lot of unboxings. Let's do my Amazon packages first. So I ordered Gothicana by Runix. Aw, sad. It's like dented. Sad. It's a really pretty cover. I really like it. Oh, I like the moon phases on the top. Anyways, this is a gothic romance. Dark academia, maybe? An unusual girl, an enigmatic man, an ancient castle. What could go wrong? I think it's like Professor Student, maybe? And so begins a tale of the mystique, the morbid, the macabre, and a deep love that blossoms in the unlikeliest of places. I've seen like some TikToks about this, and like specifically I've seen an Instagram post where somebody posted their annotations from this, and I was like, ooh, let me try that. I have heard some mixed things on this. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel, but I'm interested. So I wanted to give it a shot, and I just like decided to order it right away. I might actually pick this up next. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm really excited for this one. Okay, next Amazon package. Oh, It is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent, which is the sequel to The Serpent and the Wings of Night. So book 2, one of my most anticipated releases of this year. Oh, I'm so excited. I need to reread The Serpent and the Wings of Night and then read the novella 6 Scorched Roses before diving into this one, but I'm very excited. I'm going to be picking it up very soon. I know I've been saying like I need to read this book or I'm going to read this book. But yeah, I will be reading it very soon. Maybe I'm just like putting it off because I'm nervous. I don't know, but very excited for this one. Now let's do my Pango orders. Let's do this little guy right here. Yay! It's in a Ziploc bag. Okay, ooh, and it's in such good condition. It's The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, which is the first book in the like Friend Zone companion series by Abby Jimenez. I think this is her debut. Oh, I'm so excited to read this. I have read Part of Your World and Yours Truly, which are like her 2 most recent books, and I gave both of them 5 stars, and they're like some of my favorite romances that I've ever read. So I am very, very excited to get to this one because I think Abby Jimenez is going to be a new favorite romance author. I can't wait to get to this one. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, and last but not least, this giant chunky Pango Books package. Okay, so it is volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. So it's a Hades and Persephone retelling. I have already read the first one, but volume 2 is on my 23 books to read in 2023. And this one is hardcover, the third one is, but I really do want to continue this series. And I saw it on Pango Books for like all 3 of these for really cheap. So I was like, let me just buy all 3 of them. I'm really excited because I've heard like the first one is kind of like a setup story, which I definitely think it is, but like I feel like the meat of the story is going to start in volume 2, so I'm really, really excited for that. And I really love the art style in this. So yeah, those are all of my little unboxings. So I'm not quite sure what I want to pick up next. I have the house to myself tonight, but I might just like chill on the couch and watch a movie, but I need to decide what I'm going to read next anyways. Maybe I'll try Gothicana by Runix. Okay, I decided to pick up Gothicana, as I'm sure you saw. And I'm like 100 and something pages in already, and I'm really loving it. I was a little nervous, but I'm really liking it. I really like the setting. This would be perfect to read in October. So my best friend Lachlan has read this already. This was one of her best books of 2022. And I was like telling her to like talk to me about it or whatever. And she said it's like the perfect book to read in October. It gives major October vibes. But I was like, well, I want to read it now. So I'm going to read it now. But I totally understand where she's coming from. Like this definitely is giving October vibes. Like if you want like a spooky, eerie setting, this is perfect. It's set at like this giant castle, basically, like it is on the cover, and it's a school. And the main character, Corvina, is like kind of a witch. She's not a witch, but she hears these voices and she like can read tarot and stuff, but I don't know that she is like magical or anything, but like she's definitely strange. And she gets admitted to this school, and when she goes there, she starts like catching feelings for one of the professors. And so it's like a student teacher romance set in like a university. And there have been like these disappearances that happen every 5 years, and the 5th year is like now that she's here. So I'm sure there's going to be a bit of a mystery to it, but I love the writing and I love the like setting and the spookiness of it. It's just like giving me everything that I wanted that I didn't even know that I wanted. So I'm loving it. So I'm gonna go back to reading. Okay, I just finished Gothicana. I literally stayed up like way past my bedtime so that I could finish it. I read this in one sitting. It was so addicting. Like, I just had to know what was gonna happen, like what was going on, and I did really like the romance. I don't know, it was a little rushed. Like, I wish there would have been more build up to it, but at the same time, like, I liked the pace of it. Like, I could go back and forth like on if it needed to be dragged out a little bit more or if it was like just the right amount. I don't know. Like, I still really liked it. Like, I had a really good time with this. The setting, the mystery, like the plot, I just really, really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna give this like 4 stars, maybe even a 4.5 if I think about it. Maybe 4, because the ending also did feel like a tiny bit rushed. And we didn't get like all the answers, but it also says at the end, like the end for now. So like there's a possibility that there could be a second book in the future, and the ending like definitely left like some like lines open, so like there could be another book. So I'd be down for it if there was another book, because I'm still curious. But I really liked this one, really liked the setting. It was a fun time, so really happy that I read this. So yeah, now I'm gonna go to bed. I don't know what I'm gonna read next, but I'm leaning towards the friend zone. But like after reading Gothicana, I kind of want something a little darker, and this I just know is gonna be like super warm and fuzzy. So I'm not sure, but like I guess that's what I'm leaning towards. Maybe I'll start my reread of The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I don't really know, but I'm gonna go to bed for now. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Hello. Wow, I started filming and I was like, what do I do? I don't know. I got nervous. Anyway, I just finished my reread of The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, and I'm so glad that I decided to reread this before going into the sequel, and not just like, oh, I still remember things that happened, so like I don't need to do a reread. The reread, it just hits different. And I got to annotate, so I've got all these beautiful tabs, and I just had the best time. It was so much fun. And I listened to the audiobook this time. Don't know that I would recommend that. Like, it's not terrible. It's not bad. It's just like, it wasn't my favorite. But definitely would recommend reading this. If you like fantasy romance, definitely read this. I read this last year and it was one of my favorite books of 2022. So if you didn't see me reading it for the first time then, and you don't know what this is about, this is a fantasy romance set in this world where there are vampires, and like the vampires, like there's different vampire kingdoms, and they're kind of at war. And every year? No. 5 years? What is it? Every so often there is a tournament called the Kajari that the goddess Nyaxia puts on, and you like basically fight to the death. It's very Hunger Games style, and the winner gets like granted this wish from the goddess Nyaxia. And so our main character, Araya, is a human who is being raised by one of the vampire kings, and so she's kind of in a vulnerable state as a human, you know, and so she wants to enter into this competition and win so that she can like stop being vulnerable. Like, she'll get this wish that she'll have more power and stuff. And so she enters into this competition, and she becomes begrudging allies with this guy named Rain, who is a vampire. And in this world, the vampires have wings, which is like an added bonus because we love winged men in this house. And so basically it's them like being these begrudging allies in this competition. And that's all I'm really gonna say about it, because It's just so good. If you are a fan of Sarah J Maas, Jennifer L. Armentrout, or just like fantasy romance in general, I would highly, highly recommend this. I think it's stunning. It's one of my favorite fantasy romances that is not Sarah J Maas, because obviously you all know I am a huge Sarah J Maas fan. But yeah, I absolutely love this, and the reread was so, so good. I'm so excited to get to the sequel. But first, I need to read the novella that is called Scorched Roses, which is set in this world. However, we are following some different characters. I think it's still set at like the same time. I don't know actually for sure. I just know it's set in this world, and Carissa herself suggests that you should read this novella in between Serpent and the sequel, Ashes and the Starker's King. So that is what I'm going to do. It's about 200 pages, just a little bit less. And yeah, I think we're just following all new characters just set in this world. And then I think the characters that are in this are going to make an appearance in The Ashes and the Starker's King. So I'm going to go read this. I have heard nothing but great things about it, and that it is basically just absolutely stunning. So I'm hoping that this and the sequel are 5-star reads, because The Serpent and the Wings of Night, absolutely a 5-star read. So yeah, I'm going to go start this now that I have like literally just finished my reread. So I will check in maybe when I get to like about halfway through it, or maybe when I finish it, who knows. Okay, good morning. It is Sunday now, and last night I finished reading Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent, and I absolutely loved this. I love when authors can make a whole story into so few pages and like it still feels like a full complete story. Like this, I mean, you could honestly read this as a standalone. I wouldn't recommend it, but like you could if you wanted to, because the world building is still like explained pretty much. This will connect, like I think the characters from this are going to be in The Ashes and the Starker's King, so like it would make more sense if you read it with the rest of the series, but honestly you could read it as a standalone, but like why would you want to? Because the series is just so amazing. But yeah, so basically this follows our main character Lilith, who is a scientist, and she's trying to find this cure for her town that has this like plague that's, you know, killing people off, and so she's trying to find this cure. And she makes a deal with a vampire lord, Vale. So she asks for vials of his blood to test and try to find a cure, and in exchange she will give him a rose, but it's like a special rose, hence the title Scorched Roses. And so then they have like this kind of begrudging allyship, because like Vale doesn't really care about anything really. He's just mostly doing it like for his own amusement basically. And then Lilith is like this like kind of stoic scientist who just like doesn't have time for anything but like her science. Their romance, it was just so cute. And I love Vale. He might be, oh, I don't want to say that. I was gonna say he might be my favorite character of like the series, but I don't know. Rain, I think, is still my favorite. I don't know. But I absolutely loved Vale, so I'm excited to see more from him in The Ashes and the Starker's King. So yeah, I annotated this and I had the best time. I'm giving it 5 stars. I absolutely loved this. So today I'm going to be picking up The Ashes and the Starker's King. And I mean, I'm not going to be able to finish it today because it's a chunker, but yeah, I'm going to start it and I'm really excited. I'm going to start this today, and then I'm actually going to go finish my rewatch of Bridgerton season 2, because I just love that. I love that show so much. I love Kate and Anthony so much. All right, I have spent the last like hour packaging a bunch of Pango Books orders. There's so many. Oh. I posted my unhaul today, which means I posted all of the books that I unhauled to my Pango bookshop, and a lot of them have already sold, which is great for me because then I have more money to get more books. Anyways, I figured I'd update you on my reading because I did not pick up The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I actually picked up a fan fiction, my first ever fan fiction. I picked up Manacled by Senlin Yu, which is a Dramini fanfic, Draco and Hermione, and it's set like in the wizarding world if Voldemort won, and then it's like Harry Potter meets The Handmaid's Tale. So it's very bleak, to say the least. I am about 10% in, I think, so I'm not very far in at all. It's very dark, it's very bleak, it's very depressing, to be honest, but I'm liking it. Like, the writing is really good. Like, I want to know what's going to happen to Hermione, and like, yeah, I just want to know where the story is going to go. Basically, the reason why I picked this up is because bestie Lachlan put out a reading vlog this morning, and she read Manacled, and then she read some other like Dramini fanfic, but this was the one that she like said basically like changed her soul, and it's like an infinity out of 5 stars for her, and she loves it. So I was like, honestly, I had no interest in reading fanfic like ever, but hearing Lachlan talk about it, just like, she could convince me to read anything, to be honest. Like, I just wanted to check it out, so I decided to download it to my Kindle and give it a shot, and I'm really liking it so far. So that's what I'm going to be reading. I think I'm going to be pretty consumed by that. So yeah, I'll get to The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I don't know. I'm such a mood reader, and I'm trying this year to really embrace my mood reading. Like, I am the type of person that I am a mood reader, and so I want to read what I'm in the mood for, but I will also still try to force myself to read something, even if I'm not exactly in the mood for it. Like, just because I have it on my physical TBR, or just because I said I was going to read it, like, I'll sometimes force myself to read it just because of that, even though I'm not in the mood for it at the time. And so I'm trying to get away from that because honestly, I just want to embrace being a mood reader. Like, I enjoy books so much more when I'm in the mood to read them, like, obviously. So I'm just trying to really allow myself to mood read and read whatever I want, whenever I want, and this is what I want to read right now, so that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I just wanted to check in and tell you about the little switch of, you know, plans and what I'm reading, and just kind of update you on that, I guess. I don't know. So I don't know that I'll be able to read anymore tonight because it is getting a little bit late, and it took me quite a bit longer than I thought it would to package all those Pango orders. But yeah, I'm gonna probably go to bed now, if I'm being honest. But I will update you. Probably I'll try to check in when I get to the halfway point in Manacled and let you know how I'm liking it. So yeah, I'll see you then. Lump. Oh. Oh my god. Mine's got, look at all these bubbles.
Where'd the bubbles come from?
I don't know, maybe I stuck it in there too fast. And then one side is so flat.
I don't know how people do this and make it look okay.
This is not for us.
I don't get it.
I can't get over the bottom. Did my bottom on the first purple one look okay? Over there?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, wait, can you sprinkle this?
The graceful moment was caught on camera.
Yep. They're all touching. Why are they touching?
No.
Did we make them too big?
I think so.
Go down that way. No. It's just resting on them.
pink's good.
That pink one looks busted. Hello everyone. It has been about a week, I think, since I last filmed an update. So I'm sorry for that. Normally I update or like film a vlog update like every day or every other day. And I don't know what's been going on with me lately. I've been struggling a little bit. So anyways, hello. It's been like no amount of time for you, so you don't even know, but it feels like it's been a long time for me. So anyways, I am still reading Manacled on my Kindle, so I am, I think, about like 85% of the way through it now, so I'm quite a bit further than the last time I updated. It has pretty much consumed my every waking thought, not even waking, like just my every thought, because I have dreams about it. I've just been 100% enraptured by this book, and I am absolutely loving it. I have cried so many times. I cried for like 2 hours on Friday. I know I talked a little bit about like what it was about, but it's very bleak, it's very sad, and very depressing. So I'm gonna need something like light and fluffy after reading this, just something with some hope, because right now I'm just like going through it. But I am absolutely loving it, and you know what? It's my first ever fanfic, but certainly won't be my last. But I knew that Dramini was like a ship that people had. Like I knew that people shipped Draco and Hermione together, and I was just like okay, cool, live your life. Like I just didn't really think too much about it. I guess I didn't really give it any thought at all. Like I just didn't think about it. But now I'm like a hardcore Dramini shipper. Like that to me is canon. I don't care. I don't care what it's actually supposed to be. I just know in my head they belong together no matter what. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking for more Dramini fanfics. So if you read Dramini fanfics, please recommend me some down in the comments. I do have a list already started of like ones that I want to get to, but yeah, I am just absolutely consumed. So I'm planning to finish Manacled tonight, or today. It's Sunday, so I have the whole day. So I'm planning to finish it today at some point. I've got 15% left. I really hope it doesn't hurt. I really hope it doesn't hurt. But yeah, that's my reading update. I have just been every thought consumed by Manacled and by Draco, and yeah. I do have some like unboxings and stuff to do, which I figured I would do right now. I did open some packages when I wasn't vlogging, so I guess I'll just show you what I got. So I got the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez, which is the second book in the Friend Zone series. So I have Friend Zone up here. I got this from Pango Books. I'm going to be reading this soon because I love Abby Jimenez and I want to read all of her books. So I've got the Friend Zone, and then I'll be reading this, and I'm sure one of these packages is Life's Too Short or something like that. Maybe it's not in this one, but I do have that one coming soon, so. And then I also got my paperback copy of The Bear and the Nightingale, which I already have up on my shelf because I unhauled the hardcovers of it and replaced it with the paperbacks. I still need to get the second one. But yeah, let's open some more Pango orders. Okay, this one is kind of funny. So this is John Keats Selected Poems. The Penguin Classics edition, which I really like. I have never read Keats before, but my boy Stoker from the Veronica Speedwell series loves Keats, and I just like, I don't know, I feel like I want to read some like classic poetry and just poetry in general. Like I'm not gonna sit here and just like read 100 pages of this, but from what I do know of Keats, I think I'll really like it. And so this summer, I think I'm going to like read a couple poems every morning, like while I sit outside and have tea or something. So I figured I would pick this up from Pango Books because I really liked this edition of it. So, and I just want to read Keats. I know that's weird, but whatever. Okay, now we've got this package. Okay, so it is very well wrapped. It is Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. God, these are in like excellent condition, so I'm very happy about that. So this is the third book in that Friend Zone series, so I'll be reading those probably in May. I'm very excited for it. Okay, and now I have an Amazon package. So this is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. This is a very dark romance. I think the two main characters get kidnapped by like a serial killer, and they're forced to fall in love with each other, and it's like it's the girl and then her sister's husband or boyfriend or something like that. And so it's like messing with their emotions or whatever. It's supposed to be very dark, and I think this got picked up by a publisher, so the covers will be changing soon. Maybe it didn't get picked up by a publisher, but I think the covers are changing soon, and I wanted to get this cover. And I think Cami has read this, and I know Lachlan has read this, and I think they both loved it. So I want to give it a try since, you know, I'm reading something very dark right now, and I feel like once I read some light and fluffies, maybe I'll want something dark again. So that's why I picked this up. So yeah, got my little book haul here because retail therapy really helps me apparently. So yeah, that is it for this update. I'm gonna go finish Manacled, and I will come back in and give you my final thoughts and final rating on that. I can just tell you right now though, it's gonna be a 5 stars. Like, there's literally nothing that could happen that would make me lower that. So I already know it's gonna be 5 stars, but I'll give you some of my final thoughts and reactions and stuff once I finish that. So I will see you then. Okay, I just finished reading Manacled. I thought I had stopped crying enough to film this update. Okay. I really love that book. It is definitely though very, very bleak, very dark, very depressing. It's one of the most depressing books I've ever read. But yeah, this book was a lot, and I was telling Lachlan, because she's basically the whole reason that I read this, but I was telling her, like, I feel like people say it changed my brain chemistry, or like I'll never be the same after reading this. Like, people say that all the time, and like that's, I mean, I say that all the time, so like I do mean it when I say that, but I just feel like that is not even adequate to explain how I feel about this book. Like I genuinely will never be the same. And I don't know, I really love Draco, and him and Hermione, they both deserved better, but like Draco, even in like the canon books, I think Draco deserved better. The way that he just gets treated like a villain. He was literally just a kid at the time, and all this horrible stuff happened that like forced his hand. And especially in this one, this like fanfic, like he was literally forced to do all these terrible things in order to survive and to protect the people that he cared the most about. And just like the way that he thinks that he's like irredeemable, but he will like completely ruin himself and sacrifice his soul to save the people that he loves. I just love Draco. So yeah, I don't know where to go from here or how to move on. Like, I don't know how I will read about anyone or anything else. Like, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. On that note, I am gonna end the vlog here because I would like to edit and upload it either today or tomorrow. So if you made it to the end of this video and you want to let me know, leave the snake emoji or the green heart emoji or the crying emoji. I don't know, something something for Manacled. I don't know. But leave one of those emojis down in the comments down below, and comment if you've read any fan fiction. It doesn't even have to be like Hermione fan fiction, but if you've just read any fan fiction, I'll be curious to know, because this was my very first one and certainly won't be my last. I will be picking up a lot more in the future, so let me know that down in the comments down below. And thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me, and it always means so much to me when you guys comment. It's so much fun to talk to you all, so please leave a comment down below, because they really do, like, yeah, they just make my day. So thank you for those of you that do comment. And thank you again for watching this video. I do really appreciate it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.